It's Wednesday, February 28th. Time right now is about 6:41 p.m. And I am Mark from Blundhouse Technical Analysis, and as promised, I'm getting back to you this afternoon, or early evening, I guess it is, with a quick update. And what I'm going to talk to you about is not at all what I thought I was going to be talking to you about earlier in the day. It was not at all. And what I mean by that is, quite simply, I happened to be looking at some charts in the afternoon, just like most of you. And as you were aware, there was a bit of a meltdown this afternoon. Everything took a quick dump and then in some cases regained and in others did not. But if you're asking, is there ways that we can pick up these things on a chart? Yes, you absolutely can. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, what we have on this chart is the volume profile. To the right here, this amber line is the point of control within the volume profile, a 20-day, a 50-day, and a 200-day moving average. That's it. And then here we have a 5 EMA and a T-line, which is the ADME like we talked about. Now, this afternoon I happen to be looking at this chart, and you see, wow, this this big spike down. And we all want to know, how do we avoid, how do we avoid those big falls if you're long, and how do I identify a short opportunity if I'm looking for a short? And was there anything that we could have done to pick this up? Well, as I've mentioned to you before, as a T-line trader, or one who believes in the T-line, you can see right here where the 5 EMA crossed down through the T-line. So pretend you didn't have any candles on your chart like right now, you would have seen this. And that would have been an indication either to get out of your long or to enter a short, right? And we've talked about this in our other videos. We throw our candles back on, and just for fun, let's throw this indicator on that we talk about that gives us our signals. And lo and behold, right here, it did give us that signal, and it's programmed to do that, right, with a few other things. But you would have had an opportunity to get out before the big fall. Yes, there was something that was telling you the market was about to fall down. What else could we have been looking at? Well, if I open this up, here we have our stochastic RSI up top, and we have a MACD down here. And this is a 5-minute chart, by the way. All right. And as all I've done in here is identified, excuse me, where the stock RSI got really, really, really oversold. And it just so happens this was a real point of inflection here. It's one of those things where you have the 20 and the 50 and the 200 in representing this tight twisting. That's all consolidation, right? So coming out of this consolidation, you had to be aware that maybe you're going to get a big move up. Well, if you pay attention here, this big trend here going higher moves up. And then here's the stock RSI kind of just scraping the ceiling like we've talked about before. But you can see, here's where it fell off the cliff to give you that impulse down. And then this is basically what I would call a snapback up. And this snapback is picked up here by our script. And then this is the short entry. These are by no means exit signals. They're entry signals, long and short. But you can see how they can pick them up. And if we look down here, right, your stock RSI started to get really overbought. The divergence began. Same thing with your MACD, moving average, and signal line. And when you see this divergence between the two, same on the stochastic, that's an indication of momentum down. Same thing going up when it diverges, momentum up. All right. So I was just able to pick that up today, scanning really quick. And we've talked about how in our other streams about the volume profile and how you can trade in and out of the volume gaps and expect price to rest on the shelves. Well, here, and if this is what we were looking at on our chart, we would have started to see, if we're looking down, and if we look to the right, down and to the right there, you'll see the market started to, you can almost feel the momentum changing, right? And then look what happens when that momentum Just continues and continues and continues and continues. So that's another example of the stochastic RSI scraping the ceiling for long periods of time. Don't trade every cross. What you're looking for is to see if the bulls are still around. Are the buyers still in the building? When it's overbought continuously like this over a long stretch, it means that they are. At the same time, you have your MACD showing you every bullish expression it possibly could. All right? And then what happens? Well, I want to bring the volume profile back in here again, because where can you expect to find resistance on the way up? You didn't get any here on the 50 at all. But we all know that the 200-day moving average on any time frame that we're trading is the bull-bear indicator. So could you expect it to maybe base along here for a while before it starts to determine what it's going to do next? Absolutely. Now, our script has actually just picked up a sell signal, and that sell signal is one that's found at the 200 and at the 20. So you're starting to break support here. And what you're looking for if you're short is you want price to fall into this volume gap, because we've demonstrated even in the few videos that we've done what happens when that takes place. Price can really shoot down quickly, and where do you expect it to find a little bit of a pause or some support is on a shelf, on a volume shelf, and or a major moving average. In this case is the 50. All right, but the 50 is located right in the middle of this gap, so if price doesn't hold, that's certainly a target. And again, if it doesn't hold the 50, expect it to find some support down here. Now, in the event of a move up, right, so we've broken the 50 here and we've broken the 20. So on the move up, we're now under the retracement. The first time you see the 50 in this case, you can expect it should, more often than not, it finds a little bit of support if it doesn't bounce, right? So if it does find some support, it might be just temporary, or it will bounce. But you expect it to find something there, right? Now, if it does not, there's a message in that, and that is the velocity within the market is extreme, and you could be in for a bigger fall. But right now, if you're short again, you're hoping that price falls into that gap and starts to break down. If you're long, you're really looking for it to maintain the support on the volume shelf. And if it can, then it could move into this little gap here quite easily and start to challenge the point of control all over again. Right? But these signals are dynamic, and they will flash on and off as they're set. So the next one that you would see would be a long signal, and it would come somewhere when price in the 5 EMA breaks up through the T line and some other expressions down here with your stochastic RSI. Pretty simple stuff, right? But trading's not meant to be complicated. So all I wanted to demonstrate today is, yes, you can pick up sudden changes in the market. And yes, you have to use multi-time frame analysis to do that. And what does that mean? That's looking forward and looking backwards, so looking at shorter time frames and longer time frames. At one point today, everything I looked at on every time frame from a 5-minute to a weekly was trading above the 20, the 50, and the 200 on every time frame from the 5 to the weekly, which is just insane. It's totally appropriate to be looking over your shoulder to see how price reacts here, because if it feels like you're a little lofty, it's really because you are. That's what the market's feeling to me, a little bit lofty, but we trade what's in front of us, right? We trade what we're given, and we use our technicals to help guide us. Your chart is a treasure map. When you're trading crypto, one of the challenges that we have, at least for many people in our own group, is because we're located all over, we can't all use the same exchanges. And that can sometimes be problematic. There's geo-locks, and there's different regulatory requirements in different parts of the world. So in our group, we work off 2 exchanges primarily as partners. One of those is MEXC, and the other is Blowfin. And when someone registers with our links on any one of those 2 exchanges, we give you this script for you to load into your TradingView account. Is all you have to do is sign up and trade, and then send me the user ID number, and I send you the script, and then you're on your way. And I'm more than happy to spend time with anybody that signs up with us and comes into Blumhouse. I'm more than happy to spend time with you on teaching you anything I can, and helping teach you how to make safe, profitable trades, and to remind you that you have one job, and that one job is to monetize the chart. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, and I will talk to you in the morning. Take care.